Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Superboy Issue number 5. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, in issue number 5, we get to see some resolve of what happened in issue number 4. You can see in issue number 4, Superboy decided that he wanted to stay with Nowhere, that he wanted to work with them. Now, initially, we believe this is because it will give him a challenge. It would allow him to fight opponents that were worthy of his stature. But in reality, it's because Superboy just wants his freedom, and the best way to do this is through Nowhere. We also get to see a little resolve with the character of Fairchild and see where her character is going. Basically, in this issue, we get to see the internal workings of Nowhere. We get to see some character interactions. We get to learn a little bit more about the individual known as Mr. Templar. We get to see Superboy going out and rescuing Fairchild, who is currently under containment in Nowhere. And we also get to see a little bit more of Ravager and, well, Rose Wilson. She's not called Ravager yet. We get to see a little bit more of her character and see a little bit more of her inner workings, her loyalty to not only herself, but to her organization and also to Fairchild as a friend. We got to see a little bit more of the internal thinking of Superboy also, which will bring us to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. You know, say what you want about Scott Lobdell. There is a lot to say. What I do like is his interpretation of Superboy, because God bless Connor. I like Connor back in the day, but Connor always came off as a jock who kind of realized what his problems were and starting to fix his problems and work his way through his issues, which is all well and good, but it just didn't, I don't know, it was just cliche. It just felt standardized. It felt like, anyone could have felt that void. Superboy here, he seems a little bit more cunning, a little bit more deceptive, and at the same time viewing the world through a different perspective. You gotta understand, this is a character whose whole entire life has been built upon lies and backstabbing and not being able to trust anyone, which really gives a more level and depth to the character himself. So, I do like where the character is going with Superboy. I also like how we get to see a little bit more of Nowhere. One of my problems, and Linkara actually talked about this on his Atop the Fourth Wall channel, is that there's a lot of secret organizations in the DC universe right now, new ones. But I can say one thing is Nowhere is starting to get flushed out, starting to develop as a secret organization, one of which that I kind of enjoy. And their costumes are pretty cool too. One of the biggest things that bother me is like the Checkmate. Their costumes do not look good. I like their costumes before the relaunch, the black tops with the emblem on the side and the holster on the gun on the side, and then just like the cargo pants. Those looked cool. I don't like the costumes for those new ones, but Nowhere is starting to shape out to be a cool organization. This Templar guy seems pretty intimidating, and Superboy is coming off as more and more powerful. Bad. You know what was good about issue number 4? Is the fact that Superboy had someone to fight, and Superboy had someone to actually pose a challenge to him. Do you know what happens in issue number 5? Not that. There's no challenge for Superboy here. There's no character challenge for him either. It's not just a physical challenge, but there's no character challenge for him either. He's very secure with himself, which I don't know. I feel as though the character still has a lot to grow, and I think he feels too comfortable and certain with himself right now. He really shouldn't be. But in addition to that, there's just no big fight. There's no challenge to him. And as I said, and I said this before, you don't need action for a comic to be good. But with a comic like Superboy, which is a very traditional superhero, or not a superhero, but a superhero comic, you need to have action. It's not like we're reading Swamp Thing, which is a horror comic, and you don't need action. But in a comic that is part of the Superman family, you're going to need a little bit of action. The other thing, and I don't know if you can consider this bad, but this does not feel like a Superman comic. It's still a fun comic, but I feel as though it doesn't have that Superman touch to it. So I would like to see a little bit more Superman elements thrown in. It's still a good comic, but I want to see more of that Superman elements thrown in. On the whole, I would give this a 3 out of 5 stars. Well, you know what? A 3.5 out of 5 stars. It was enjoyable, it was fun, but it was a little boring because not too much happened. It was just mundane stuff going on and on and on and on. Superboy comes off as very evil looking in this because they have his red eyes on a lot, especially with him like this in the red eyes. It's really quite creepy. So 3.5 out of 5 stars. Okay, book. Waiting to see. I'm waiting for it to pick up. I'm sure Superboy will get better once they're done with the Teen Titan crossover. Anyways, I'm going to end this review here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.